And we're live.
I was thinking about getting a pet the other day, but I was looking at ferrets.
God, those things live for so much longer than you think they do.
5 to 8 years or something like that.
Yeah,
like
a long time for a long rat.
They call them cat snakes on the internet, and I don't know. It looked kind of fun, but I know this girl, and I remember that she used to have them, and so I texted her. I was like, "Hey, you had ferrets at one time. I remember some pictures of you with ferrets. What are they like?" She's like, "Oh, they're fucking insane. You don't want a ferret." I was like, "Nah, it sounds fun. I'll build a bunch of tubes in my house, and they can just do that thing where they worm around in them, and I can laugh and make fucking Instagram videos. It'll be great." She's like, "They also smell," and I was just like, "That's kind of a deal breaker. I don't want a smelly snake cat."
That's cats. I sometimes think about a cat, and their poop is not as good as dog poop, but their urine is especially like
it's rancid,
pungent, rancid, terrible. And I'm like, cat waste is the worst.
Some friends of mine spent because they have 2 cats and they hated so much that little smell. And the first time I went over to their house, it was the first time ever. I was like, oh my God, you guys actually have cats. And usually I'm lying when I say this, but I wouldn't guess you had cats if I walked in here. Part of it maybe because he smokes a ton of pot and that was covering the smell. But the other thing, they spent I think a couple grand or at least $1,000 on the most high-tech kitty litter box I've ever seen. It's the size of a chest you would keep at the bottom of your bed. It looks all fancy. They go in there, take their shit, take their piss. It self-cleans and it decontaminates. It sprays special enzyme eating stuff from the inside, rains it onto after it senses they've left. And it was outrageous. I don't remember all the details, but it was if you own a cat, you should be required to have one of these.
We have 3 cats that we see outside, so I've claimed them as our outdoor cats. We don't feed them or anything, but
no, they take care of problems for you.
Yeah, we see them in the yard.
They work better hungry.
Yeah, they're always on our property. Now, I go out. I've been walking every night because it's good for my back, and I walk around with the flashlight, and there they are with their bright, shiny eyes looking at me. There's cats in the yard.
Plotting.
Could be.
I found a couple little mouse droppings in my my garage, and I was like, "This isn't gonna fucking fly." So I went and bought some sticky traps and these little mint pouches and things. Well, the sticky traps are more for the brown recluse in there, but I got those in there as well. And then I put some mouse traps out. I don't want to harm them. I want them to go away. So I bought this spray that they're supposed to just hate and they'll just leave on their own volition. I put that. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about that one bit. They're living in squalor. And I was going out checking the traps. No mice, nothing in there, just bugs in the sticky traps. But in one of the sticky traps, it had moved a good bit, and I forgot to close my garage door last night. And all that there was on the sticky trap was a bird's head.
Oh God!
It was nothing else of the bird
head. A bird's head, and then what remained of a little bird skeleton. And so clearly a bird flew in there to eat bugs, and then some raccoon ate it in the middle of the night. And I was like, I feel so bad for that bird.
Sticky traps are the least humane thing you could possibly use. Poison makes them bleed internally until they die. It sucks.
We use the spring-loaded traps.
Spring-loaded traps are the way to go.
And I
they just fucking die. Or the electric traps, the ones that electrocute them, because those are fun. Right. And if you really want to have a good time, you could rig your own up. We did that once. That was awesome. It was AC powered, 120 volt rat trap. He walks in there and he connects two
on this rat trap.
We had plans to do that, but but it kept setting the whole thing on fire. When we took the arc welder and we were able to hot wire it into one of the traps. But whenever we would stick something in there to connect the circuit, the whole thing would start smoking and then burst into flames, and we couldn't have that. But the way it worked is when he walked in there, he connected these 2 metal points trying to get to the food. You got food at one end, 2 points, positive, negative. And when he walks through, he closes the circuit and it's just, really, it just goes pop and he's just fucking dead. And
that's the most humane way to do it. But also, I feel like a lot of mice aren't going to, they're dead instantly. Right?
Yeah, they were.
The spring-loaded traps are. Have you used a spring-loaded trap? It sounds like maybe you haven't.
I've set them up. Nothing's been caught yet.
All right, so we use a spring-loaded. We bait it with peanut butter, and it's super effective. We just see them the next morning, and what happens is they don't stand on the trap. Like, if you don't know any better, like I pictured them standing on all the contraption. No. They go up, they put their head on where the food is, and then the spring comes and it crushes their skull and they're dead in an instant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the internet said peanut butter was like the ultimate way to go with that. And so far, no dice. I'm going to have to reapply peanut butter. So
you've got to like really get it mushed in there so they have a hard time getting it all out. And also, like, there's a trick to like loading them. You don't just like push the so there's that little arm that goes over and holds the spring part down. You don't just push it in all the way. You want to make it a hair trigger. You want to just barely latch it, because the thing that's setting it off is this little 1 ounce mouse, right? So like, he's able to get in there and get all the peanut butter. I need to go
check that then, because I bet that's what I did wrong. I bet I like handedly, secured it too much. Because it was just a cheap little thing I got at Home Depot, like just a little Vector or Victor, whatever the brand is, like just basic bitch stuff. It's like 8 for $2.
Kitty was hearing footsteps in her attic, and that's spooky. Yeah, right. And she's like, I think there's a possum up there. And I'm like, there's definitely not a possum up there. You've probably got rats. And so I bought some big rat traps off of Amazon, like bigger than your phone, like the big ones. And I would have to go up there every day and check them so that rats wouldn't rot in their fucking attic. But I guess we got 3 or 4 rats, like decent sized rats out of there. They were not mice.
Damn.
But then growing up, on my dad's farm, like there were rats everywhere. We would have rat hunts. They would make these burrows under concrete pads. Be a big square chunk of concrete, like really big, like twice as big as a car. And they would burrow all up under it with this network of tunnels. And you could see the entrances all around the concrete. So we would block off like all of them but 2 of the holes. 1 entrance, 1 exit. And then we would take a big pipe and connect it to the exhaust of a truck.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd run that carbon monoxide down into one of the holes. And then we'd wait at the other one with a gun. And like, it'd take a while because they don't want to come out. And I'm sure they tried the other exits that we'd blocked off by just stomping on them and pushing dirt into them. Finally, they start coming out, and they're just staggering drunk. They're just like, the fuck did you do to us? Like almost dead already. And so you could just shoot them with a pistol as they came out.
Oh, isn't that how we got the Japanese out on Iwo Jima or something?
You're goddamn right it is.
Yeah, we call this the Iwo Jima approach. Well, that's pretty cool. I need to try that. Maybe I'll get a friend, or I'll just hook up my own thing.
Yeah, fill your garage with carbon monoxide. That's a good idea.
No, for my mole problem, not for the mouse problem.
You have moles? Oh, I envy your mole problem. That'd be so much fun to fix.
Come over when you can and do it, because I didn't want to like kill them. And so I bought the like sonic spikes that goes, and literally
I love that.
At first they hated it because I could see every day when I go out. This was like a year ago when I first bought them, and my yard was torn to shit. Like there was more mole holes than regular yard. And I could see like tide going out every day. I'd come out to let my dogs out. I'm like, oh, they've turned back. They're retreating back into the woods, into my neighbors' yards. Everything was hunky-dory for a couple months. Then it turns out they stopped giving a fuck about those little things, and they come back. And so what I'm doing now is taking just pellet poison, digging out the little area so you can put it in there, and then just drop poison pellets in. And then reclose
What's
it.
your idea, Kyle?
Depends if you want to be effective or fun.
You know what? Let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
Do you have access to a acetylene gas?
I can find it.
Kyle is a slow learner. This is how you nearly lost a hand.
That is both things you just said are true. So
I remember
the slow learning thing is because of exposure to acetylene gas. If you had some acetylene gas, what I would do is pump acetylene gas into the holes and then ignite it from afar. You don't want to be anywhere near it. Actually, this is going to blow your yard up. This is going to blow your whole yard up.
And I got neighbors.
What about that?
Well, they can come too.
The expanding foam.
Hey, we're having a gopher burn. You guys want to come over?
If you own a house, maybe you've patched little insulation holes with the expanding foam, right? This is a thing like big stuff or big fill, whatever it is.
Yeah, big stuff.
You
Great
buy
stuff.
it? What is it called?
Great stuff.
Okay, maybe I'm not sure. And anyway, you can buy the raw ingredients to that. I see people do it on the internet where they like pour in the liquid and then dump in the powder. Or they're like little white pellets, and then it just fills the mole hole in a really big way, and you can picture it in your head, just like zooming out. It spouts out like a giant volcano, and the part that it's both fun and I think it kind of like fills the holes with something they don't want.
What is this called? Great stuff. There's got to be a
foam
YouTube.
sealant. You wouldn't. That's not ideal either. That's gonna make a mess.
But I don't know how the mess does in nature, right? Like in my mind, foam breaks down in dirt in like 6 months, but I don't know.
I don't know what
maybe it's in the
like
plastic family and it lasts for 10,000 years.
I think it is because like what I have done is like ran over a can of that shit with a lawnmower before.
On purpose, of course.
And so then it like hardens up on the ground. So then like every week when I would cut the grass, I'd run back over it and it just wouldn't go away. It would just make smaller and smaller pieces. It was like running over a styrofoam box that just wouldn't wash away.
This stuff looks like so much fun. I don't know what projects I have, but I'll find use for this.
Yeah, it's great. It's super good for all sorts of utilitarian stuff, like filling rat holes in walls and like farms. It's really good at that. It's a good insulation, but I don't know. I would gas them. I think that would be fun. Like maybe you could get like a pellet pistol or a pellet rifle and do what I said, just running carbon monoxide down in there. Like you could, I don't think you got a lawnmower, but if you can like get your car back there and run some hosing from the exhaust down in there, they hate that.
I got a lawnmower.
That's what they supposedly used at some of the Nazi concentration camps.
It seems like this is going to blow. Okay, the acetylene thing will absolutely blow my yard
Yeah,
up.
don't do that.
I know, I wouldn't do that. I heard your.
But carbon monoxide is not flammable. It's the opposite. It's burnt fumes, from a gasoline engine, and it will just fuck them up, and they'll come staggering out, and then you can sort of kill them at your leisure or capture them. You could catch them and like maybe take a few prisoner,
release
like a
neighbor's yard that I don't like.
Maybe you could build like a whole guillotine out there and have like a public execution to like make the others watch what happens if they come around there, or display of the bodies. Like what if you made a bunch of scarecrows, but it was just like gophers all crucified?
my HOA comes over. You can't have dozens of crucified moles on your property. This is America. I paid my dues, and
this is religious freedom.
This is not just freedom. Well, then explain the ones that are hanging from the garage.
Oh no, don't do that.
Well, that helps me out when I'm pulling in. I want to know exactly where to stop when I hit the mole.
When I hit the mole, I know to stop.
Doesn't have enough body weight to die from hanging, so it's just wiggle worming his way around.
Remember that scene in Game of Thrones where like they crucified like a slave every mile all the way to the city, and like that. Do that with the mole.
Or maybe a slave owner, right?
Well, that's how Daenerys responded, was by crucifying all the slave owners.
Okay.
Because they had done that to all his children.
Just a social experiment. How long do you think I could get away with it if I started nailing dead mole carcasses to my fence posts in a way that my neighbors could see? I wonder, honestly, because if my neighbor started nailing dead animals to his fence,
immediately,
my first thought would not be to approach him about it. I wouldn't want to, and I would also be like, if I call the authorities or I call someone about this, he's going to know that the moles are presented to me. Is he threatening me? I'm just going to let him. I'm going to wait on this. I could get a few days away. I could get away with a few days.
I would call the HOA immediately as soon as I saw
the first nail go in.
It would wake me up, of course. I hear doc, 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 tuck, 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 tuck. What are they roofing over there? And I like peer through the blinds, bleary-eyed, and see a man crucifying a struggling mole. Because in my scenario, they're alive when you do it.
Oh yeah, well, and I just like from the window, I hear you go, "What the fuck?" Look around, night vision goggles on. I can see you now. I know.
Hi, this is Kyle. Yeah, Unit 74. Yeah, Brook Street. My neighbor Roger. He's crucifying moles next door, and Yeah, crucifying. Yeah, like in the Bible.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the weirdest part, he's dressed like a Roman soldier, and I'm really thrown off right now. There's no rule against it. So this is like a
it's like an
Airbud scenario. Well, shit.
And another really troubling thing. This between you and me. This is not the first time he's crucified something. He's very good.
He's very quick. Seems to have a crucifixion kit, as it were. That is not like a claw hammer he's using. It looks medieval.
That's my next approach. Crucify him to my fence posts and scare the others. But yeah, moles fucking suck.
I've never seen a mole. We don't have them in the South.
Oh, that stinks. Yeah, moles, voles, they just ruin your
voles.
We have prairie dogs.
I think they're cooler.
They're just cuter.
Prairie dogs have a whole language. They're very intelligent.
They come out now and then. Voles are blind and just stay underground all the time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Some of the moles have like, or maybe it's voles I'm thinking of, that like starfish fucked up nose.
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, that is gross. Those things deserve to die.
Yeah, anything with a face like that. Yeah, we have the prairie dogs here. They also explode really well when you shoot them.
They do. I remember when I lived in Idaho, they had whistle pigs, which are like smaller prairie dogs, and you would just go out to some farmer's pasture who had a bunch of cattle, and he would just let people hang out there all day because they'd dig holes that then the cattle, when they're grazing, would step in and fuck them up. And so you could just wait for them, pop up, and then once you do get them, it's like just when you hit them, it's just a wet slap of like the round hitting them. And then if you shoot them with anything bigger than the 22, like even a 223, they vaporize, just gone. And then if you shoot them with a 22 and they die, I don't know if prairie dogs are like this, but the whistle pigs are so gross. If there's one laying there for a while and they're really hungry, the other ones will like poke their heads out and then run over and start eating the one that you shot. And then you could shoot the one that they're eating. They're very, very gross animals.
And they're poor strategically as well.
Yeah, they should know that when Ted got shot, that weird bipedal ape up there with his boomstick, he's still there.
Yeah. If I see a dead body in Tarkov, I'm like, this might be a bad spot, boys.
So they do know that, but that's why you have to shoot them from a long distance, because prairie dogs have a word for people, and they have a different word for people with gun.
It doesn't surprise me. They wouldn't have survived long if they didn't figure out a little bit of communication there.
Yeah, there's some, if anyone cares, if you just search prairie dog shooting montage on YouTube, like there's some people doing some 360 no scope type shit on there.
People using completely inappropriate guns.
Just explosion fast guns.
Like, you don't need a 50 cal to kill a prairie dog, but what they turn into is this red mist where it's insanity.
Yeah,
prairie dog eradication montage.
Yeah, I was just watching that one. Yeah, and they'll use like really high velocity 22 caliber stuff. Like 22 250 is a great cartridge for this. It's 22 caliber bullet, 55 to 70 grains, I believe.
Can most guns shoot it?
What's that?
Could a regular, like if I had what is the common one? Is it 1022? A Remington?
Oh no, 22 250 is a rifle cartridge. It's like I'll show you a picture of it. No. So
you need a special 22 to shoot.
It's a whole different caliber.
Okay.
It's just like there are many 30 caliber rifles, everything from a 7mm Magnum to a 308 to 30-06. All those are 30 caliber, but completely different calibers, completely different rifle systems, all that. I'll show you a picture of a 22 250.
In my head, I thought it was like, there's a 9mm, then maybe 9mm P, and there's definitely 9mm P plus. I thought it was just like, they crammed some more powder in there.
That's essentially what they did, but to get the more powder part, they had a whole new cartridge. Yeah. So itty bitty projectile, tons of gunpowder behind it.
Wow.
So
look at that guy.
So we would hand load these cartridges until they were going nearly 4,000 feet per second, which at some point hollow points come apart from air. Just fly. They can't handle the air pressure on the nose of the bullet. They'll just disintegrate midair if you get them going fast enough. And the result is a very accurate, fun to shoot, cheap to shoot gun that shoots really flat because of the velocity.
Dude, this is a great corner of YouTube. Just all these videos. Prairie dog massacre. Flying prairie dogs. Vaporized prairie dogs. Like
For people watching the video right now, all of this holds gunpowder, and just this little tip is the bullet itself. This is all propellant, and that ratio is extreme. That's what Kyle's getting at.
It's a real fun cartridge to shoot. It's a real fun cartridge to shoot. And an AR-15 would work really good. Just 5.56, 223. That would be a perfect caliber, a very good caliber for Prairie Dogs. Anything like that. But you want something high velocity that's accurate. Just a regular 22 long rifle isn't ideal if you're shooting at any kind of serious range.
Yeah, you wanted to shoot pretty flat too. Make it easy.
Yep. High velocity.
Yeah, look at the editing on these. I don't have the sound.
I don't think we can show Prairie Dog explosions. That's
okay.
New
well,
YouTube.
They did.
Yeah, this is actually the one I was watching.
They're all like demonetized.
This guy has a drone.
It's age restricted. On this very video you're showing me is a problem.
Okay,
yeah, this one's called Prairie Dog Hunting. This one's called Prairie Dog Hunting Armageddon with slow motion explosions. Looks like he's got a savage rifle there. Yeah, he does, or she does. Yeah, he gets a triple kill here, like a triple collateral at one point.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is. That's an achievement.
These Prairie Dogs are not exploding in the way that I've seen before. Maybe I'm used to 50 cals.
Small caliber that he's got here. I don't know what he's shooting, but I would guess like that might be a fucking 22. I can't tell what that is.
Ooh, the guy at 140. He gets. The editing is hilarious. On this thing showing where you should be aiming. Anyway, we're just watching people kill prairie dogs now.